Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Bro Media Podcast. This is a recorded version of it. We've been live streaming it the last two times. A little bit of a technical difficulties, but we do appreciate you guys jumping in here and joining us. First off, I'm Lazarus. I am a founder of the Bro Media Podcast here. Um, Regular person, dad, hard worker. I have a family. I'm a guitarist. I love music. In the metalcore scene and entrepreneur. So a little bit of everything, jack of all trades here. And I have Ryan here. Go for it.
What's up, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me good.
Sure
I
can.
feel a little quiet. Good. My name is Ryan. I am fellow podcast buddy of Laz, a that. See, we're not even live, and I'm messing up. Fellow co-founder of Bro Media, and we decided to create this podcast to talk about regular stuff, day in day out stuff, highs and lows. Just basically just chopping up with each other for an hour every week. So thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for liking and subscribing. We're hoping that we continue to produce content that everyone wants to listen to, and that's pretty much what we're doing. We're just
That's right.
chopping it up with each other. So
Chopping
how's
it.
your week, man?
It's going. It's actually been a great week. I'll just start off with highs and lows since that's kind of like a little
Theme.
staple of ours now.
Yeah.
I've been working on my 1981 Ford Bronco
Nice.
for about a month and a half now, and I've gutted it. No carpet. I've got my grinder, went to town on the old rust on there, primed it. I've been painting, so I have a newfound love for painting. Like,
So you're doing the whole thing, like the painting it like in the garage?
yep, garage, outside, wherever I have I have room and space.
Yeah.
This morning, I found the time between phone calls to spray paint my trunk, my not trunk, my tailgate. So the inside of it, yeah, I just found
You-
this new love of painting, like actual paint gun, like an automotive
I
paint
was gonna
gun.
say, you're not
Yeah,
Krylon, it's the actual
no,
paint.
yeah, actual paint gun, automotive paint. There's an art to it. There really is.
Oh yeah.
So it's all in the prep work. Make sure you're sanding,
Yeah.
priming, sanding, prime. Like there's a
Yeah.
process to it. Because if you put that much attention to it, the last step is painting. And
Yeah.
if you did a good job on prep work, it comes out really good, especially with the paint gun. It
Yeah.
shoots so smooth, so easily, way better than a rattle can.
Yeah. But if there's like one imperfection that you
It'll come
didn't
out.
get,
It'll come out. Like I even told myself, like, I'm gonna go ahead and not worry about that little imperfection, whatever. Well, guess what? It pops out.
that's
It
cool,
really
man.
does. It really does. So yeah, that's kind of been like my de-stressor, like throughout the week. If I need to do something just to kind of get my mind off of things, my truck's actually been there to kind of do that for me.
Yeah.
Um, so that's a high there, just because I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
And then just low. I can't really think of a low right now. Just things have been kind of on a good uptrend, and so I guess I'll say that there is no low this week, and I'm
That's good,
wait.
man.
I take that back. We were on our HOA call about an hour ago,
Yeah.
and oh my god, just HOAs, like, get your stuff together. Like the people in the community that represent that, help, represent us to the
Yeah.
HOA. They do it. They try to do their best, but like in all reality, it's the HOA that does a lot of
Mhm.
the connections and the effort to fixing things in communities, and ours is just it's just broken. Like we've been in our community for about 8 years now, and it just sucks because it's been a downhill since we moved here, because it was great for the first 2 3 years, and then all of a sudden we started noticing things breaking.
Mm.
I think that our HOA just doesn't have the right connections to make things happen. And what I mean by that is, like,
Like the vendor list
like
is
the
weak.
vendor list. Yeah, it's super weak. It's not consistent, and it makes them look bad. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
so, like me.
Well, you pay a lot of money in an
Oh,
HOA, you know, that's probably one of the biggest gripes that if you live in an HOA, no
oh,
one's really happy with the
and
HOA.
their only solution every single year is like, we're gonna raise rates. We're gonna raise rates. How is that even a solution?
Right.
Like
Just brings in more money for
it
what?
for them,
Right.
they get
Right.
they get their cut no problem, but there's no solution to the actual items at hand. The
Yeah.
community gets super frustrated, and at this point, we've been literally talking about the same thing for the last 5 years, and it's a broken record. I think at this point, the community is about to like go pitchforks and go riot at this time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that our community is on the same page. Like we are moving forward to possibly removing the HOA with somebody else,
Yeah.
and I think we just need a reset. Just kind of
Yeah.
like when you are looking for a new insurance for your auto insurance, your rate keeps going every year here and there.
Yeah.
At some point, we got to cut that connection and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. That is my low. If it is my
Yeah.
HOA.
Well,
How about you, man?
I have had one heck of a week, man. To put it lightly, I today was my first full day back to work since last Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
And we shot Thursday night,
Yep.
last Thursday. So it's been a week exactly, and I got some killer buzzwords for our podcast for when our reels get chopped up by our AI bot.
Yep.
But the topic for me is the highs. I guess I'll start there first. The highs is I'm down 15 pounds since
Okay.
last Thursday.
Really?
The 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 lows was I was extremely sick until
No.
about Wednesday ish.
Okay.
Both my wife and I decided, and here comes the buzzword. We both decided let's try a shot of semaglutide, Ozempic, and my nurse practitioner is like, yeah, it's easy. You do this, just I'm already doing testosterone shot in my shoulders, and no big deal. It's a little diabetic needle. You draw it up. So the day that I got it in the mail, which was Thursday, we were excited to try it. So I opened up the thing and it said, it says 20 units was your dose.
It's self-administered, this one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which was it says semaglutide, so it's just in a vial, and so it's got B12 and other stuff in it. So I draw it up 20 units, and put it in my arm. Came in here, hung out with you for an hour. It's fine. Um, my wife did the same thing, same dose. Because we were just reading the directions. So
Right.
now everybody that I've talked to since has told me, and I'm tired. My eyes are beat because I've been out in the sun working today. But everyone that I've talked to was like, dude, you like, so most people start at like a 5 unit dose.
Okay.
And they're fine. So I'll explain. So we did the live podcast Thursday night. I'm laying in bed. I wake up at like 2 in the morning and I'm like, my throat feels like acid in the back of my throat. I'm like, what is going on? So as soon as I sit up in bed, I start burping like crazy not a throw, a sulfur
okay.
crazy sulfur burp, like this weird, just what the heck? And I look over and my wife is just sitting up and in the bed facing like the other direction. And I'm like, are you good? She's like, no, I am not good. I've been up throwing up all night. Maybe it's the B12 because she doesn't do B12 very well. She kind of reacts roughly to it. And she's like, I was afraid of this. And I'm like, well, no, I don't get sick. I don't ever. Like the last time that I had something going on with me was like 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I ate chicken off of like a skate park barbecue. And I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, it was a gas station sushi moment. But so that whole day went by. I was just a wreck. Couldn't really get out of bed. It felt horrible. The next day goes by. I called my friend out from AZIV Medics to give me an IV with vitamins and stuff in it to help kind of me to feel better because I had stuff to do, man. I had to get to work. I was falling behind. I got 2 major deadlines and no time for this mess. And so he came by, hooked us up with the IVs. I felt great. Still hadn't eaten, still hadn't felt great though. And like a few hours later, it went right back to feeling nauseous and gross again.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, remember in the days when we were like, drinking, in the band, and you get to that point where you just got to make yourself throw up because you're like, listen, this is dumb. I just got to get this over with. I was like, I don't know. I keep burping up this watermelon that I ate on Thursday night. I ate a bunch of watermelon, and I'm like, it shouldn't be there. This is 2 days later. So I go in the bathroom, and I just was like, had a talk with myself. I'm like, just get it over with. Just do it. I go in there, and no one likes to throw up. Do that real quick, and I immediately felt better. But it was just straight watermelon, which was like, okay, my body is not processing food. Okay. That was 2 days ago. It shouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
So basically what it does is it slows down the way your body breaks food down, and it just, the initial dose just basically shocks you. Well, it's not supposed to shock you like that. A lot of people just live their life right through it.
I mean, you
went
supposed to start off. You went balls deep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I read the directions of like somebody that's already been like progressing through their thing. Problem is I couldn't reach my nurse practitioner because she had some illness in her family, some deaths and stuff, and so she was offline. And so I was like, well, it says 20. I mean, it says it here like 4 or 5 times. So, anyways, the low was not feeling well. The highs was like I didn't do anything except, it does work. It does work. Yeah. I only threw up one time. That was it. I still have a little bit of indigestion every now and then. But it's not like today I ate all day. Everything's fine. But dude, I'm serious. Like it's 15 pounds in a week.
Holy.
And it's just like we went about our lives like we were eating, drinking water, all the things but I just literally couldn't keep the weight on. I mean, it does work. And I really wasn't trying to lose. 20 pounds was by like July.
Yeah.
I was like 215. I wanted to be back to 195.
Like, what do you think? Like, do you think it's water weight? Do you think it's actual fat? Do you think?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, you can see it. Yeah. Like you can see it like in the stomach area specifically. Is where it kind of, for me at least, that's where that was really for me as my family always just has weight in the middle area.
Like that's me right now, man.
The back, and so I don't like when my clothes touch like a certain way. I like wearing the shirts a certain way, but like when I feel like it's touching the back and stuff.
Yeah,
that went away, and it hasn't come back. Like I'm like 197 now. I was just under 215 last Thursday.
All right.
And I work out a lot, so I mean, a lot of it is muscle. But I did have like that stomach area, not like a beer gut or anything like that, because I don't really, I don't drink beer. But yeah, that's just the Italian in me, and that side of my family all were like, bigger in the middle section. So that's like something that I kind of self-conscious of. So I was like, I'll try a shot, see what happens. I'm not committing to anything. But little did I know, I did 4 doses at once.
Jeez, okay.
My wife too, and she's half my size. So
she's okay.
Was really sick. Yeah, she's fine. She's still a little bit nauseous from it, but anything that she's gonna suffer, more than I, because I'm bigger than her. She didn't even need to do it. I think she was just ride or dying with me. She's like, yeah, I'll do it with you.
Right. It's like Botox. You do it, I'll do it too.
Yeah, I'll do it. Stab myself in the forehead. Yeah, long drawn out high and low. Ozempic was a wild time. I do think it works. I think that you should definitely start low on your dose. It doesn't hurt, but because being nauseous and not being able to perform and work and basically having the flu for
this
for me, it was like 5 days.
This Ozempic is quite a fad right now. Like
it is. That's why I wanted to try it.
It's like everybody that wants some type of weight loss is like at least looking into it.
Dude, it's the magic. It's magic. It's literally magic. Because I didn't do anything to him. I didn't even throw up. I didn't have The other one of throwing up, I
Mm-hmm.
just literally, and I ate and I drank. I just shrank. It was
Jeez.
weird. They do say like you have to eat even if you don't want to.
Right.
I did. I forced. But that's where the nausea for me came in because I'm like I don't want to eat a lot, but I would. I'd force myself to eat. Um, but I can eat. Like I love to eat, and when we went, we went to dinner. I like to eat everything. Like I'll
Yeah,
just
we
eat.
tore it up, man.
Yeah, and my whole life, I'll be full, and 20 minutes later realize that now my brain just doesn't tell me I'm full until it's too late. So at least with that shot, it kind of gave me more of a warning of you're already full, and so I'm already cutting because I eat fast. I don't eat, I it's a whole thing with me, but um, yeah, I would recommend it, but I would definitely say start with a smaller dose, 5 units, 3 units if you're little, like a
But
small person.
if you're going to Cancun next week, you do 20 units.
Man, send it. I'll come over, poke you in the arm, man. If you're down, if you come over, just beep, and you'll be like, "Cool, man, this is great." And then you're like, "Bro." You'll feel
Jeez.
miserable for a few days, but literally, like as you're experiencing the misery, you kind of like walk by and see yourself in the mirror, and you're like, "Now I get it. I
Now,
get it."
what did you tell your nurse practitioner what you did, and
Oh yeah,
what did she say?
she was caught off guard. She's like, most people will start at the 20 units. Um, she's like, however, I mean, not everybody reacts differently. So I, you know, she probably wanted me to start off on that dose because assuming that I wouldn't have a reaction to it. But going back and starting over, I would do a 5. I'm supposed to do another shot today. I'm gonna skip it.
You're
Um, I'm gonna
you're
skip
good
it.
for a month.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it takes a week from what I read, it takes a week for half of the dose to exit your body.
Gotcha.
So I figured if I take this week off, I'm just getting back to normal.
You can
Uh,
catch up next week
maybe if I
ish.
maybe if I want to do like a micro dose of next week or two, maybe I'll do that. But honestly, like it's just helping me knock the edges off that I don't like about myself. It's literally it's me
Gotcha.
being dumb, but um, I don't feel like an obese person. But when I tell people my weight, they're like, "Huh, I wouldn't have guessed you're 215 pounds." But that's because I have a physical job. I don't have like physical looking, like I have like functional strength. You know what I mean? That I'm not like a bodybuilder guy, but I pick things up and set them down all day.
Yeah.
With work and stuff like that. So speaking of that, today was the first day back. We had to pull cables out of that job by your house all day. Like we pulled underground cables through too small of a pipe. We ended up hooking it up to my truck to help pull it through this pipe, and it got stuck. And so we spent the rest of the day having to back pull the pipe, and then the wires kept breaking. And I mean, it was a nightmare. I got out of there about 4:30. I think that's when I called you. Just shot, being in the sun all day. That's why I'm just drained. But you did get me to get a Jägermeister, and I was gonna do a Celsius, but I'm too tired to get caffeinated up, man. So I went with the juice, a little Jaeger and tangerine or something like that.
Yeah, I mixed my Jaeger with a little bit of Monster. I haven't
Mm.
had any caffeine all day, so
Oh man,
I needed a little pick me up right now. So
yeah.
it definitely tastes good. Honestly, that's my go-to drink there.
I forget how much I like the taste of Jaeger. Everyone thinks I'm weird.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it. They connected with the licorice flavor, and
Well, I don't like black
the
licorice, but
thing
yeah,
is,
you're
I don't like black licorice either.
yeah,
I'll take a bite of that and I'll spit it right back out.
yeah, same,
But
yeah,
for some reason, Jaeger has a good flavor to me.
yeah. It does too. It's all like the herbs and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it
That
is.
was kind of like that was a staple drink, man. Back in the day, Jaeger and Red Bull and what else did we put in Jaeger? Uh,
Red Bull, Monsters.
yeah,
I think that's my era.
vodka Red Bull. Oh yeah, never mind. I was thinking of yeah, that was two different ways to drink Red Bulls. Now I can't drink Red Bulls at all. It make me tweaky. I
And
like Celsiuses though. They have a lot of vitamins and
yeah, I like
stuff.
so on the whole Celsius thing and carbonated water, me and my wife bought ourselves one of those Soda Stream machines,
Oh yeah,
and it's actually very interesting. At first, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, "What like just like squeeze CO2 in water and
yeah,
it's carbureted, it's carbonated, and you can just make whatever drink you want with that water. You know how
yeah,
when you go to the coffee shops and they have those pumps of different flavors. Well,
yeah.
literally, you can make yourself a flavored soda off of that stuff,
That's
and
cool.
you control how sweet you want it, how
Yeah.
much sugar you're actually putting into it, compared to like a can of Coke. It's a fraction of the sugar that you're putting into it.
Oh, that's
One,
good.
one, it's hella healthier.
Yeah, definitely like to cut sugar out of my diet.
So we've been enjoying it. I like So up here I have like a little tribute to all the G Fuel powder that I've bought throughout my years, and I was like, can I do that with G Fuel? It's like a powder energy drink. You just pour it
Yeah,
in water and you mix it.
yeah,
It's hella good with the carbonated water. It
nice.
gives it a pop. So yeah, we've been enjoying that too. So
That's cool. Did you ever, when you were a kid, did you ever go to like, the fountain drinks and like put like a little bit of each in?
yes,
We called it a suicide back then, but I don't know if you can call it that anymore. That's what we called it. I don't know.
my go to at Circle K. I love the taste of mixing Sprite and Coke together.
Really?
Yeah, it's a really good flavor. I still do it when I get a chance. So
Sprite and Coke. I'll have to try that.
Sprite and it just gives it you know how Sprite's kind of very spritzy. I don't
Yeah.
know how
Tastes
to
like tastes like static.
yeah, but it just highlights a little bit of the Coke. I don't know. It tastes good. Try it.
That's cool. No, I'll try it. Yeah, for sure. No, I'm always down to try new things, man. Like you know, life gets a little boring. Well, yeah, no, highs and lows for me that was it, man.
Heck yeah.
I'm back on my feet.
Well, I'm glad you're
Uh,
alive and you didn't disappear.
no, no, I mean, it was an experience. I haven't really heard of too many bad experiences on it. I know people say, you stay on it for a super long time, you can get that, that gastral stuff happening in your Ozempic face and stuff. But
Yeah, I've
this
seen
was
pictures.
literally just to see like what it would do for me. I'm sure there would probably be comments. Um, I just wanted to kind of see if it would actually help me lose these final, 15 pounds of just belly that I didn't like.
Yeah, it could
Um,
be a good like Kickstarter too for somebody too, like on their
yeah.
weight loss journey. Like if
Oh
they're
yeah, dude.
so
But you got to work out. That's it. That's the thing with like taking testosterone and all of these things that help us be better versions of ourselves. Because not all of us are born with that Adonis, Brad Pitt Fight Club body.
yep.
I'm not. So I have to work out. I have to stay active. I have to take care of myself, drink lots of water. So any sort of, you know, anything you're doing there, you should, not just say this is the magic cheat button. You should still continue to work out and do those things, but you will see results fast with semaglutide or Ozempic. I was shocked. My wife too was down 10 pounds in the 5 days. So she was also super shocked at that too.
Right.
So, but also you know, we we did we took too much. The directions don't always mean they're like for everyone. So I'm learning that, even though that's what they nurse practitioner said to do that. Uh, I doing it
I
again.
mean,
You're right.
everybody's body's different, so the way that
Yeah,
you received it, it's different from somebody else.
yeah. Clearly, I won't be doing that again. Yeah, but I'll probably do another, but much smaller and very much spaced out maintenance wise. Because I'm not obese or anything like that. Although, on paper, a 5'11", 200 and whatever 10, 12 pound dude is gonna show like medically not in shape, which is strange because I work. I mean, I'm muscular. You know what I mean? So like you can't just blanket everybody into the same category.
Yeah, it's weird
Yep.
to see them charts and then like 5'11", you need to weigh 130 pounds.
165 is what I'm supposed to weigh
Yeah.
to not be obese. And I was like, I was 170.
I can remember maybe in high school.
I have a picture in my phone of me at 235 back when my wife was pregnant. I got pregnant with her. I'm trying to find it here. I have a picture of me at 235 and a picture of me at 174. Let me hide behind this.
Well, yeah, look at that.
And I started to look sick at 175. You know, I kind of look strange. But yeah, I was a big dude. I was 235.
That doesn't look like you.
I know. But yeah, that was the heaviest. That was in so I'd lost my brother to cancer around that same time in 2010. He passed away. My kid was born in 2009. So during that time, I had gotten pregnant with my wife, just eating all the things and not really caring, you know, kind of being with family. And it was like, whatever. And literally was like shaving my head with dog trimmers, man. Like I was just in a different part of my life right there, you know, and then I just realized this is dumb. I was still smoking cigarettes back then too. Like literally that picture right there was the turning point for me to like become a runner, ultra marathon runner, start running for cancer research, quit smoking, obviously, take better care of my health, you know, everything in moderation type vibe. So that was a turning point for me. So yeah, I've been a big dude. And I've been finally she was like, you got to stop losing weight. Like you don't need to be any smaller than that. So 185, 195, that's like a happy spot for me where I still feel, you know.
Yeah, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, my body feels fine.
Right
So
on,
yeah, overnight, man, went from I think it was 213, something around there, down to like a 197 or 198 over 7 days today. So yeah, it's crazy. If you have a week to give up, just pow, bang it right here, man, and just ride the lightning.
Jeez. I don't know. I'm scared already of like as I'm getting older, I feel like certain medications start making me feel weird that
Yeah.
I never had a bad bad reaction to, because like even taking like pain medication, like I had my tonsils taken out recently, and my
recently.
like deviated septum. I'm talking about like maybe in the last 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That had been a tough recovery and being older.
It actually wasn't. It wasn't that bad. So, you know, everybody had that comment. It's like, oh my God, you know, you're going to take a while to recover. You're going to wake up with, you know, all clogged up with like, you know, the gauze and everything. So when I woke up, I kind of had it in my mind already. It's like, okay, don't freak out, because that's how people get like they can't breathe or whatever.
Yeah.
I literally opened up my eyes thinking that was going to be my reality, but no, it was actually
from the deviated septum repair or the tonsils.
Both. Like
you had it at the same time.
At the same time.
Wow, that's great.
So I think
I have a deviated septum and I still have my tonsils.
So I think it's because my I think my doctor, he was a high-end doctor.
Yeah.
Highly recommended for anybody that needs to get that procedure done, because he had the touch, he had the procedure down, and yeah, I took about a week and a half to recover, maybe 2 weeks fully. Yeah. For the first week, obviously, like because I had my tonsils out, my diet was just yogurt and Jello. Like even towards the second week, like I tried mashed potatoes, but the salt was still burning my throat, so I gave that up, and I just stuck. I just stuck to Jello and like a pudding type of regiment. And I lost like 20 pounds right off of that, and I was eating all that sugary stuff.
Yeah. I know Jorge, my technician who was mad at me, is like, man, he's like the ultimate hype man. He was telling me, he was like, man, you didn't need to do that to yourself. You're a handsome dude. You're good looking, bro. You're not fat. You don't need that. He's like, just don't just don't eat for like 5 days if you want to lose. Like he was like, he's like genuinely like concerned. I'm like, no, bro, I'm seriously, I'm not. He's like, you don't need to do that to yourself. I'm like, you're the hype man, dude. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. Why didn't you tell me that last week?
But what I was gonna say about that procedure is that they gave me medication, and um, it was making me like feel like I wasn't in control of my breathing, and it was
Oh,
giving me anxiety.
oh,
And then
yeah.
they gave me another medication for anxiety, and I was like, I've never taken this type of stuff. So I took it, and oh my god, like if anxiety had another level of anxiety, it
Dang.
gave it to me. Like I felt like I just wasn't me. I wasn't like right now I'm like breathing, you know.
All right.
It just felt so irregular. I felt like
Would you compare that to like being like stoned or something? Like if you smoke weed, you know, you can almost like
if I remember that feeling back in the day, then somewhat of it, yeah.
yeah,
You're
like
just
you can hear yourself breathing and your heartbeat in your ears and weird stuff like that.
but this is like so numbing that I felt numbed, like my muscles weren't contracting and my
Yeah.
diaphragm wasn't working, you know, like
Ah,
oh man. So I probably didn't sleep for like 3 or 4 days.
that sucks,
Like
man.
good sleep. It probably took me a week and a half to actually get good sleep. And then they took out the stents. You know, they were about that.
Yeah,
They were that like about that long each
like
nose.
two big lighters, basically, right?
Yeah.
And you know,
So they
yeah,
ripped. They pulled him out, and as soon as they pulled him out, I literally started crying, man. Like,
yeah.
because I've had this issue with my nose for a long time.
Oh, you can just breathe.
I could like back before the surgery, it felt like I was breathing like this. You know,
Ah,
one nose one nose was clogged, and then the other one was semi open.
mm-hmm.
So as soon as they fixed that, now it's like I'm breathing through a brand new nose.
That's great, man.
But it was just the moment was life changing. But man, I still remember now. Like I stopped taking medication, even though it was hurting me because the
Yeah.
pain. But yeah, it was hurt.
It's
Medi-
weird how your body reacts to medicines and medications. And I've never had any reactions to medicines or anesthesia or anything like that. But also, I mean, not had a lot of reasons to take it. But yeah, I as I get older, man, the wrong vitamin will make me not feel good. You know,
yeah,
yeah, you have to be careful. And as you get older, you literally are DJing with your health. Like you want to be a better person. You want to be a better version of yourself. So you start, making sure you're eating better, and then that changes the medications. If you're on, I don't take medications like other than just the stuff I talked about, but like when you start to feel better, your stuff starts to work better. So maybe that medication that you were taking is working better than it used to because it can. Your stuff's getting cleared out and working better. Your liver's better. Your kidneys are detoxing or whatever it is. And then you go in that cycle of, well, now my medicine's making me feel weird. Do I even need to be on it? And you come off it. Like
yeah,
it's you're DJing with your health. You're constantly making adjustments, and that's as you get older, you kind of have to learn by. Sometimes you make mistakes. I have friends that are diabetics that still drink alcohol and stuff, but they're like, hey man, I know that I got to live my life. Sometimes it's gonna be work out for me. Sometimes I'm gonna feel like crap, but at the end of the day, no one cares about how you live your life except you, man. And so, um, if you take care of yourself the best you can, and if you screw up, don't try not to do that again. you
yeah.
know? But yeah, dude, that's wow. That's I'm glad you got that fixed. I do have a deviated septum. I broke my own nose back in probably like late '90s.
Yeah, mine was
I was
because
trying
of
to get
an accident, car accident.
oh, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was more of comical. I was trying to get a cardboard box out of the back of my work truck, and I grabbed the flap, and the flap ripped, and I just punched myself right in the
Oh,
face,
yeah.
broke my nose.
It's weird how something like that can just shape your nose, your interior of your
Yeah.
nose.
Did you see
But
Steve-O fixed his nose? with Mike Tyson's fist. He had a bad deviated septum.
I'll say this, like it took me years, and I just procrastinated, and it was because my son had to get his tonsils taken out too.
Mm,
So he was having issues breathing. He was tossing and turning at night, and he's only, he was 2 years old when he got that done. So, um, I mean, 3 years old. Yeah, he's three. Yeah, it was,
mm.
as soon as he turned three, it's when we had it done last year, and it was just sad seeing him that way. So my wife made the appointment, and in the same time, she was like, "Why don't you just get it done too? Like just get it knocked out."
That's cool.
And I highly recommend it. Anybody has deviated no septum, just get it fixed. You're gonna breathe a hell of a lot better,
Yeah.
guaranteed. And if
What
you
was
had,
your what was your recovery time for that?
so I was up about a week and a half, like,
Okay.
like as far as like talking normally,
Yeah.
breathing normally. But at the week and a half mark, I was good.
Okay.
Um, but for sure that first week, just because you are taking your medication, like pain meds,
Mm,
you kind of have to have that downtime. But after that first week, then you can probably start walking around, but you can't really like, hold a conversation. You can't really,
yeah. Probably a
um,
lot of pressure up there.
yeah, like you feel tired by the time you're done. Like if we're having this conversation right after
Yeah.
surgery, like you
Yeah.
you would probably pass out because of of pain.
Yeah. Oh,
But it's recommended, dude. I just get it done if you can.
yeah. Yeah. Doctor said when I went and saw an ear, nose, throat guy, and he's like, I could fix this in the office with a balloon, but you're gonna hate it.
I've seen that video. Yeah,
He's like, it's gonna hurt, dude. You're gonna be like really, really pissed off at me. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I honestly, I can breathe. I'm good right now.
yeah.
It's just a little stuffy. I
For
went down the. You probably got hooked on the nasal spray for a while too, because I was doing that.
I did the nasal spray. They do that for insurance purposes to like make sure like if that's gonna help out or not. So I
Yeah,
did that for 2 3 weeks or something like that, and obviously I had a really bad case of deviated septum. So
hmm yeah.
um,
Well, that nose spray, man. You can get like you can get dependent on it, and then it doesn't work as good as long, and you're doing it more. And like I would do it so much that I would lose my taste and smell before it was a COVID thing. It was just that
hmm
I had fried the inside of my nose just trying to keep my nose open. So like the nasal steroids and all that stuff, but I don't do that anymore. I just wing it. But I still have my tonsils.
yeah,
Still have the septum. Still have my tongue tie from a child, from an infant.
I gotcha.
Old school, man. I guess.
Yeah, one of my buddies, like, so we both have sleep apnea, and I told him the same things, like,
Yeah.
just go get your nose and your throat checked also, because he's probably
Yeah.
still has his tonsils, because
You rock the sleep apnea. Is it a mask?
it's a mask. It's just goes around like my the entrance of my nose and then my mouth, so it's like a medium. It's nothing huge that covers my face like that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that. What's that movie? That movie guy, that the character from the movies. Oh, I can't think of his
Um.
name. So tired now. Um, Gosh, can't think of his name. It'll come to me.
uh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I was wondering how those work. Does that keep you from?
It's
Does
it's
it push air in
it's
there? Or?
positive pressure air. So yeah, you're getting air pushed into your face. And it's because I do got to lose weight, and then also it's like
I can come over real. Let me
it's
come over real
also
quick,
oh dude, hook
dude. I'll
me
come
up,
over real quick,
hook me up.
dude.
Next time you're
I
over
got
here,
you.
just
I got you, dude.
just hook me up.
I mean, no sweat off my back. I mean, I'll tell you right now, it'll work.
All right,
You'll be like,
I
hey,
got
man.
I got the weekend off. If you're out here tomorrow, I'll do it.
I am out here. I'll be out there all day
All right,
tomorrow.
come hit me up.
It has to stay refrigerated, so
Come hit me up
I'll
in the morning. I'll be here.
yeah, I'll come over with it in an ice pack.
All right, I'm down. You
Are
heard
you?
it. I'm down.
All
For real.
right.
I'm down.
I'll come over, man. Yeah, it's easy mode. You know, you might just. I definitely don't say you should do the 20, man, unless you want to. It says you're supposed to, but you might have something to talk about next
You know
Thursday.
what?
Like you were right, bro. But I lost 35 pounds.
All right, so let's so if you're cool with it, then let's match your 20 or
Yeah,
whatever, just to kind of have that conversation next week.
I'm with it. I mean, the worst case, you get to work from home, which is fine. Worst case, you're gonna feel a little bit nauseated, maybe a little bit discomfort, and you just won't have a great appetite. But you have to eat and drink water through it. That's really it. Now that I'm through the fire.
Yeah.
When it was at the time, it caught me by surprise, man. I was like, what is wrong with me? I don't get sick. And then it hit me. Like we started researching, and I was like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
But yeah, I swing by in the morning, man.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I'll tell the wife tonight. Hey, I'm gonna take a draw on this, bring it to labs.
But yeah, what was I saying? So it's positive pressure. It pushes air into your face. The mask just depends. Like for me, I'm a mouth breather. Um, Part of the problem of my sleep apnea is because I'm a mouth breather for years of my body getting used to breathing through there because of my deviated septum. So yeah, so it just pushes air into you and allows you to breathe at a better constant rate, you know, that you would unless because sometimes I feel like if I fall asleep without my mask, sometimes I'm okay. I can take a nap with it. But for like my night sleep,
Yeah,
if I didn't have my mask, I don't go into deep sleep like that. They call it that REM sleep.
yeah,
Then I wake up exhausted, you know, just
yeah.
because of my regular breathing
One thing
pattern.
I can tell you that I did notice out of this is my dreams were extremely vivid this week. So I was
Mm.
getting really good sleep, which is I mean, I don't normally remember my dreams at all, but I could remember them in great detail. And then I'd wake. Of course, like you try to piece it together, and it's never like it doesn't really make sense. But I could remember that I was having these vivid dreams and colors and excitement. It wasn't like scary or anything, but it was like very active dreams. So yeah, man, I'm actually super stoked if you're down. Like, I mean, let's try, let's do it, man.
All right.
Bro it up.
Yeah, bro media.
Yeah,
We're also test bunnies over here.
yeah. I mean, honestly, like, watching those scale move that fast was shocking. Like, I didn't really know if this. I was like, so, and it did stabilize. Like, so the past couple days, it's hasn't moved. It's just been chilling there.
All
So
right.
I know you're supposed to do it 10 like doses. So once a week for 10 doses, and then yeah, it's 10. I think it's 10. And then it's over. Like you don't have to stay on it. You shouldn't probably stay on it. Your body
Yeah,
kind
like
of calibrates.
I mean, that would be my thought process there. Like, it's probably like a temporary thing. You should not make it a
No,
permanent.
no.
Like,
Just get like for me, I want to get to a certain way of that I feel about myself. And it's not like I walk around with my shirt off or anything, but it's just like a body image thing that I have from everyone has
yeah,
self-conscious in it. So it was for me to like get to that point and then maintain it. Because I've just been trying for my whole life to like, and I think that's kind of a blanketed, like most of us have issues in the stomach area.
mm-hmm,
You know, I have a good 4-pack, but below that, there's no pack. You know what I
gotcha.
mean? It's there, it's hanging out, it's hiding under some fat, but you know, I just needed a boost. And I could tell you, dude, it works, but you might
I
not feel
mean,
that great.
man, I think hopefully people can relate to what we're doing here because I'm sure anybody who watches this, and for
Yeah.
the most part, we've talked about Ozempic for the last, 45 minutes here.
Yeah. I
So
know this was supposed to be a part of the high and low, but
it's because
uh
it's what people are talking about. It is a fad, it's like,
yeah.
everybody's kind of like either heard of it or have even looked it up themselves on Google. I've
There's a
heard
lot of other ones too. There's like there's one that starts with an M, I think. There's tricipitide. There's
I don't know.
everything is semaglutide. There's some sort of semaglutide in it. The one that my neighbor took, that I spoke with today, 'cause I wanted to tell her my story, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I never got ill through mine, but I was on the other one. It starts with an M." And
Hmm.
she's like, "It's basically it's a mix between tricipitide and semaglutide or Ozempic." And she's like, "But I ate right through it. I felt fine." And she lost 100 pounds.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Like the craziest part about that is
Like what
I
time
didn't
frame though?
know. Uh,
Did
it
she
was
say?
like, so I met her. She moved in with her boyfriend across the street probably about a year ago, and then I'm standing in the street talking to this lady about 2 months ago, and this was my foot put my foot in my mouth. I was chatting with her. I'm like, she's really friendly, like I know her or something. I was like, where do you live on the street? She's like, what?
Ryan, it's me.
She's like, no, it's me. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I live right here. And I was like, she's like, it's still me. And then I didn't, and she didn't tell me anything. So then my neighbor got home, Kenny, and I was like, hey, dude, I was chatting with your girl in the street, and I didn't. Same girl, right? He goes, dude, yeah, she doesn't tell anyone, but she took the Ozempic stuff, and she lost like 100 pounds.
Jeez. Okay.
And I was like, she could have led with that. Like, I know you probably don't recognize me, but I was like, is this
She
a
was
Google?
trying. She was trying to probably like
Had
see
no
when you
idea.
would realize it.
I came home and told my wife, I was like, I just put the biggest foot in my mouth. I asked this girl, I asked the girl I was talking to, like if she lived on our street, and it was a neighbor. She's lived here this whole time. We've talked a bunch of times over, and so I literally did not recognize her.
But that's
So
cool. That's cool though. Like
I think she
it
said it
worked.
took her like,
It worked for
yeah,
her.
it took her like 3 months,
Okay.
three and a half months, dude. Like,
That's cool though.
and
Like that's
she's
a
no
great
longer on
story.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's no longer on it, but I didn't recognize her.
Okay.
And I mean, I guess she apparently was, I am a bad judge of character for how much somebody weighs, so you never really know. If you see a female that has extra weight, I would never assume that she weighs more than me, just because that like it's a female. Like I don't know,
Yeah. You don't.
it's
You just don't think like you
yeah.
think
So
it
I'm
that
like,
way.
oh
Yeah.
well, she might just look different, but she doesn't weigh. It's like she's not 200 pounds, you know. And then you find out, and you're like, oh wow. So I wouldn't have guessed. So yeah, it does work, man. It is worth it. I think I I would do it again, and I mean I'm going to do some maintenance uh, doses with it. But I'm actually so you should weigh yourself tomorrow.
I am.
We'll do it.
So I'll do
And then,
that. Because I have my new gym membership. So
right,
I'll do.
you just might not feel good for a minute,
I hear that.
but you might not feel bad at all. They like so.
So I'll do.
Uh,
I'll do that. I'll try to hit the gym to maximize.
yeah,
And then next Thursday we'll do this, and then we'll.
yeah, yeah. We'll get your story.
I'll give my story and I'll put it out there. Like I am not the lightest guy. I'll give you a before and after. I'll be that
Yeah,
honest. I'll be that honest here.
do a starting weight. Now, if I was to guess your weight, because how tall are you?
5'11" also.
We're the same size,
Yeah, we're
same
about the
height.
same. Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, you just started working out too. See, I'm bad at judging weights. I have no idea. I couldn't really guess your weight. Although I noticed in our last podcast, I need to adjust my camera because I sit lower than your head is at the top of the screen. So I look like this little dude. So like I need to figure out how to float my screen down a little bit
Maybe
more.
I'll just get back a foot.
There we go. I lowered my screen down. It's on a floating mount. That's a little better.
No,
But
we're
yeah,
good.
but and now we look like proportional to size. But yeah, no, I'm really bad at guessing weight, and it's like honestly though, what I have learned about this journey of getting older is the scale is just a starting point. Like how you feel in your skin and how you feel about your body and how like your loved ones see you and make you feel about yourself. That's a big deal. Like the weight, the scale is like it's like a there's always this preconceived notion of how much we should
Gotcha.
weigh. But how do you feel? How do your clothes feel?
Like
How
for me, like I am not a self-conscious person. I can literally take off my shirt and go into the
yeah,
pool and have the time of my life.
yeah,
I don't have that I don't have that self-conscious image like when I look myself in the mirror like I don't cry, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I know that I could be healthier.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like
when you're doing it for your health, it's totally different
yeah.
than doing it for vanity.
Yeah, like I said, like I know that I can literally probably shave off 50, 60, 70 pounds and still, have a good meat on me, and not look winky
Yeah.
dinky, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
in my perfect weight that I would probably keep myself at once I kind of get this weight journey going, probably 250, 240.
That's what you weigh now?
No, that's where I want to get.
Oh, you want to be 250.
Yeah.
Okay. You're more than that now.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll reveal it next week though,
Okay.
before and
Yeah,
after.
dude, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah. So
I would have said,
before and after, we are hooking people with this, and we're
I honestly would have said 220.
no. I wish.
Because I'm a bad judge of character. Like I can't, and I don't see you as an overweight person.
I hide
That's
it.
why people that are probably watching
No,
this is like,
I'm pretty well proportioned out, I guess.
yeah,
I'm not. If I hate to say it, but my body puts it on well ish,
yeah,
even though it's not healthy ish.
yeah. Well, I mean, you're like me. You love to eat. You love to, you love good drinks. You love to live life. And that's why, after talking to lots of people about this, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get hung up on all of the people that are keyboard warring and being naysayers. I'm just going to try it. If I don't like it, then, you can't get it out of your system. You just have to ride the lightning,
Yep.
which is, kind of uncomfortable. Um, I wouldn't say tomorrow, like eat a bunch of food, like throughout the day. I would just drink water and, do your normal
Yeah, I don't want to
routine
have a
workout
piece
stuff.
of watermelon in my stomach for 3 days.
I don't know if I want to eat watermelon for a while. It's still in the fridge looking at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm not ready to eat you again. But, the results, man, I was really surprised.
Yeah,
Really, really,
we'll
really
get we'll
surprised.
give the people a taste here of reality of what
Yeah.
people are talking about.
Gonna
So
tune in next week.
I
We
guess
got,
that's where we'll end it there. So like
yeah.
everybody, thanks for tuning in here. We're talking about real stuff. We're two, you know, mid 30s. I'm in my mid 30s.
I am not in my 30s,
But
bro.
we're just what I'm saying is that it's real talk here. I'm
Yeah.
talking about my weight. Talking about my journey that I'm going to be starting here. Ryan's here going to help me out by
Yeah, man.
injecting something into my body that everybody's talking about,
Yeah.
especially in nowadays. So I'm not doing this for likes. I'm not doing this for subscriptions, but this is how real, our
Yeah.
conversations are. And Ryan, appreciate you, even bringing it up that you're even taking it.
Oh,
Cause
it was embarrassing. I almost didn't bring it up.
I wouldn't even think that you would because when I look at you also, you look like you're in great shape. And
Well, thanks, man.
I would never think that you would be doing additional stuff to get you to a better you that you want.
It's just tweaks and minor tweaks in our lifestyles that we're just, you know, I run a pretty, clean ship. I eat well. I take good care of myself, but I just can't lose the stubborn belly fat, So
Yep.
I was like, why not try it? I'll try it. And, it's kind of taboo, because people will say you don't need to be on that stuff. Well, it is my life. It is my body. Um, I did want to experiment with it, and I do have, even though I was really ill, I do have the physical results of that, and I'm back to working out. I have a full day of work. Um, and that was from one time. So yeah, it's definitely like it's got my attention. I don't feel different now, and everything's fine. Not constipated, no nausea, diarrhea, no
Gotcha.
nausea, none of that stuff. Like there's a list of things that you can find on the internet that will say yes, will say no, but really it's how you feel about yourself. If you're willing to try, you're taking steps to make your health better. You're working out, you're doing a lifestyle change, and sometimes you need a helping hand. That's why we take vitamins. That's why we have medicines. That's why we have maintenance things that we do for brushing our teeth to prevent cavities. It's all the same stuff.
Yep.
Um, so try it. Doesn't work for you. Cool. Tell your story or don't tell your story. But, I didn't want to even bring it up, man. I was like, it's going to be a hot topic. It's probably going to be a banger for our podcast. This is embarrassing. I didn't tell anybody why I was sick. So I'm literally letting it. I told somebody, I thought it was, first, I really kind of thought it was food poisoning because of the way I'm like, why am I burping up watermelon? Sulfury watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was disgusting. And I accidentally burped, and my wife's like right in her face by accident. She like turned and looked at me. She's like, I have never in my life smelled anything like that. She's like, that was the most horrendous thing that I have ever imagined coming out of you. Like, I'm like, what would it smell like? She's like, straight death, like
Oh
death
my
on
God.
fire. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to burp. Like, it just happens. You'll just dragon burp. You're like, wow. And you're like, oh God, sorry
Jeez.
about that. But that was my digestive system probably just backfiring into
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
happening because I just power ate in my, went hunky dory in my, had a couple drinks, or eating, having a good time with you last week. To the next day, I was just like, oh my God,
Right on.
what have I done? But I'm excited to hear your story
All
every
right.
week, man.
All right. So please leave a comment. We're talking about Ozempic this whole podcast. Have you looked into it for yourself? Do you know somebody that's taken it? Have you seen some horror stories, or have you seen somebody have a great, success story? I want to hear it down at the bottom. So please leave that comment down below. Give a like to the channel. It really helps us out. Subscribe to the channel for these, unscripted conversations that we're having here. Brian, anything you'd like to add?
No, thanks for listening this whole time. It's funny that one topic turned into a whole podcast, but I appreciate this format. Maybe this will help people.
It might.
We still say be kind for no reason, especially in the comments. Nobody has time to respond to negativity.
Right.
But continue to work on your health. Be safe. Be good to each other. Be kind for no reason. We'll see you next week. Some good stories, probably.
All right. We'll update you. Have a great night.